Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about WandaVision and where we could see Vision and Wanda next in the MCU and what could be happening to them the next time we see them. So I decided to group these two characters together in one video because they're so intertwined with one another. And I'm going to do separate videos for some other characters. Such as Monica Rambeau. And I think the other one I'll be doing is how WandaVision will affect Spider-Man No Way Home, since we know WandaVision is supposed to affect that movie in some capacity. And I got some theories cooking, so we'll see what happens. But for now, let's keep this only as Wanda and Vision. First, let's start out with the easy question. What is going to happen to Wanda Maximoff now that WandaVision is over? Last we see her in the show is in a post-credit scene where we see her. It looks like she's like at a cabin in the wilderness. Some people are speculating it could be Sokovia, could be Canada for all I know, could be somewhere in America. Anything is possible. Could that be the same cabin as the one from The Incredible Hulk? Didn't look like it, but who knows? Maybe they thought, maybe it's time to change that place up. Or maybe she's just another cabin somewhere in the world. And then as we pan closer to her, we hear a tea kettle going, the whistle of a tea kettle. She goes inside to get it, and as the camera's following her, it passes her, goes into a bedroom, and we see Wanda, which looks like she's in her astral form, similar to how Doctor Strange goes into his astral form. Unlike Doctor Strange, though, Wanda's body, her physical body, is in motion while her astral form is out of her body, it looks like, if that is what that was implying. Where we see with Doctor Strange, when he got into his astral form, his physical body would be in like a dormant state. It would be like knocked out or fall to sleep, right? Kind of situation. I wonder if this is already indicating that Wanda is already more powerful than Doctor Strange, what the finale, what's her name, Agatha, she implied that to Wanda, that she will be more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. This could already be a big hint that she is already more powerful than him, and could be the destruction of whatever's coming. My theory is that this show, WandaVision, has already set up the villain for the next Doctor Strange movie. Now, whether it's this character Chthon or Nightmare or Mephisto, that I'm unsure of. A lot of people seem to be thinking it's this Chthon character because he's tied into the Darkhold, which if that's the case, that makes the most sense then up to this point. But Marvel doesn't always necessarily go with what happens in the comics. So you'll never know. Whatever is going to happen is also going to involve her kids, because in the end credit scene as well, while it passes by her, goes in the room, and we see her astral form, what could be her astral form, we also hear Tommy and Billy, her two sons, yelling, "Mom, help, Mom, help." So it kind of implied that her kids will somehow be involved with the next with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And apparently there are a couple of rumored sources saying that the kids were spotted in London where Doctor Strange is being filmed. So if that is true, then that could definitely be the case. Now, what could she be trying to do? Going into the multiverse and finding her kids? That is a very big possibility. Or could she travel back in time, which creates the multiverse? Because remember, we learned in Avengers Endgame, when the Avengers went back in time, we saw the Hulk meet the Ancient One, and she told him, hey, if you take all these Infinity Stones out, this could create a rift into other timelines. This could create an all new timeline, which could alter the case of history for us. And that's what would create the multiverse. Obviously, some of the stones were, all the stones, as far as we know, were put back into place, but there were still some changes made throughout the time periods. For an example, the Thanos of 2014 was killed in Endgame, which means there's a timeline that didn't have a Thanos, which means one timeline is already being altered. We know that Loki is going to be a time-traveling series. Whether he's trying to fix time or not could show us that maybe other timelines are being created. And who knows, maybe even Wanda herself could create a timeline where maybe the 2014 timeline, because Thanos is killed from that timeline, maybe her and Vision actually did have kids and she plucks out the kids from that timeline. It's just the theory that I actually just cooked up right now. I mean, that is a very strong possibility. Loki is supposed to be connected to this Doctor Strange movie, or at least that's what Kevin Feige said at D23 when announcing all these projects. He hasn't mentioned Loki ever since Spider-Man was announced to be connected to WandaVision and Doctor Strange. I noticed he hasn't mentioned Loki since D23, so I don't know if plans changed or if they're still staying on course, because remember when D23 happened, that's when Spider-Man was almost not going to return in the MCU, because then it was a month after that or so where then Disney and Sony renegotiated the deal for Spider-Man to return in the MCU to probably close out his storyline. So did they change Loki's, the Loki show from being involved into Doctor Strange, or if that is still going to be connected? I think it's still going to be connected to Doctor Strange in the fact that Loki's traveling through time, and I think there's going to be mistakes along the way where alternate timelines will be created because of his show. And I'm going to tell you what, I think What If, the animated series coming to Disney Plus, What If, where some of the actors from the movies are going to reprise their roles, but in voices. I think that show is good. Don't sleep on that show. I think it's going to be a show where it's going to play a very important part to the timelines that could take place in the multiverse of madness. I think whatever Loki's doing, we're going to see those repercussions in the What If series. And then some of those things, like the Marvel zombies, we've seen some zombies in that trailer of the What If trailer, and maybe even certain characters, like maybe we'll see Captain Britain, Agent Carter suiting up as Captain Britain. Maybe we'll see her pop up in the multiverse of madness. I think that's going to lay the groundwork of some of the things that we could see in the multiverse of madness. And that Loki is going to be the one, the Loki series will be the one setting all of those different timelines in motion, even though whether it's intended or not. So that is my theory on Wanda. And I think Wanda, when she finds a multiverse that has her kids, I think she's going to want to go to that multiverse and get them back. So, I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe she is a creation of one of the timelines. Who knows? I think there's a lot of possibilities out there right now. So, or maybe the 2014 timeline that happened in Endgame that Thanos got out of there and escaped and was killed in the regular timeline. Maybe that's the timeline that has her kids. But then that's our gateway into the story where we're going to find out, oh shit, there's other multiverses out there. And Doctor Strange is going to have to set things right with the help of Wanda. Who knows? Anything is possible by this point. And I'm very curious. How is Mordo going to fit into all of this too? That's another question, because is he going to be back in this one? Maybe they're not going to bring him back for this one and they bring Mordo back for another Doctor Strange movie or another movie in general. So I don't know. There's a lot of, maybe there's no new villain. Maybe Mordo is going to be the main villain again. Because we do know Chiwetel Ejiofor, I believe, is coming back for this next Doctor Strange movie. So he needs something to do. And maybe they think, hey, look, he's going to be the all-out. In the previous Doctor Strange movie, he was kind of an ally. Maybe in this one, he goes full villain. And that's the only villain you really need. Maybe we're looking too deep into the whole Mephisto stuff or Nightmare stuff or Chthon stuff. And maybe the villain was right in front of us the entire time. Maybe it's going to be Mordo. So I don't know. That's one theory. So what about Vision? Vision, the last time we see him, the white Vision, not the Wanda's Vision. We see the white Vision. He flies off. He gets his memories back thanks to the Wanda's Vision. And he flies off and that's it. Somewhere out there, white Vision still lives. Whether he still has the same feelings for Wanda or not, we don't know. I heard that in the comics, when he becomes White Vision, he loses all feelings for Wanda. So is that what we're going to see play out here? Is their relationship? I think they're going to make us wait a while. The easiest place to say that he'll return in would be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But as far as we know, Paul Bettany might not be down in London. So I don't know if they will or not, but then again, he could fly there easily, lock himself up for 14 days, and then film a cameo quickly. Or there's another movie or series that he could pop into, and maybe they prolong that reunion. Maybe they don't have that WandaVision reunion right away. They wait for it to get people hungry to see that relationship return again. So where could he pop up? If not Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, is there another movie where Vision could show up? I think there are a couple of movies. If you think about the movies we have coming right now, I don't think Black Widow, I have a feeling he won't show up in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I can see Captain Marvel 2, the second Captain Marvel movie. I think he could show up in that. Eternals, I never thought of it before, but Eternals is a possible movie that he could show up in. I think he could show up in Black Panther 2. After all, he is made out of vibranium. Maybe the Wakandans, the Kingdom of Wakanda, will think, you know what? That Vision character, he should actually belong to us, so maybe we should keep him. That's a possibility. I think if it's another movie, I'm going to guess not Spider-Man. Spider-Man won't have him for sure. I don't know, man. Thor Love and Thunder, maybe, but I don't think he's down in Australia. If he's not in London, I doubt he's in Australia. Is Paul Bettany in London? I don't know. He is a British guy, right? So maybe he's already living there. That's where he lives, maybe. I don't know if he lives in LA or London, so it's possible he could be in London already, and we're just not putting the clues together, and he's already filmed some scenes as White Vision. How about television shows, though? Disney Plus, right? Disney Plus has some series coming. He could appear in any of them. The Loki series is a possibility, although I think if we do see him in that, it would be like an alternate version of him. What If will definitely have him, but again, it will be an alternate timeline type of situation. Miss Marvel could be, maybe. Hawkeye, I could see him in a Hawkeye series. After all, Clint has a relationship somewhat with Vision. I think he has more of a relationship with Wanda, but Vision, we've seen a little bit of back and forth with them as well. Moon Knight, how funny would it be with Moon Knight? Because Moon Knight is all in white. It is possible Vision could show up there, but I'm going to guess not. She-Hulk, I don't think so, especially since they're saying that She-Hulk is going to be comedy. What about Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I didn't think about that one until now. That's a possibility as well. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Who says Vision didn't go up to space? And he doesn't need like a spacesuit or a ship to go into space. He could just fly out there in the galaxy, and maybe the Guardians will run into him for all we know. We've all been wanting to see Thor team up again with the Guardians, which we'll probably get a little bit of in Thor Love and Thunder. But what if that's it for Thor and the Guardians, and the next hero that the Guardians meet is Vision? I don't even think that's an interaction we saw yet. So it would be interesting to see Vision mixing up with the Guardians. So you'll never know. What about Secret Invasion? I think they're going to keep that on Nick Fury, and I think there's going to be a lot of guest stars in Secret Invasion. I just don't think Vision will be part of it, although you'll never know. It could be a fake Vision, and we find out that a Skrull is Vision. That's maybe. Ironheart, that could be a possibility, especially since Vision does have a connection to Tony Stark, who says he doesn't return to Earth, and someone else doesn't find him, someone who becomes the next Iron Man, in this case Ironheart. Armor Wars could be another one. Whoever's trying to get Tony Stark's armor, and maybe War Machine's armor, maybe they want to get their hands on the Vision 2, which was sort of created by Stark, so there you go. Yeah, so guys, those are my theories in where I think, possibilities on where I think Vision could end up. If I had to guess one, though, looking at all these titles right now, if I had to guess one, I'm going to go bold and say I think we could see Vision in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I think that's the one that makes the most sense to me right now. Doctor Strange seems too obvious to see Vision again, but I think they're playing the long game. I think they're going to wait for that Vision Scarlet Witch reunion in another movie, like an Avengers type movie. But I do think Vision's next appearance will be in a feature film, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Just like how Wanda herself is going to be in Doctor Strange, I think they want to, just in case people are not paying attention to the Disney Plus shows, which I think by this point, WandaVision being the #1 show worldwide, I think people are paying attention to the Disney Plus shows, but just in case, you want every movie to stand on their own. And I think Guardians of the Galaxy already being a big property, you reestablish that Vision is alive in that movie, even though the Guardians never really met Vision, so it would be a fresh new take on this character with fresh new eyes. So if you've never seen any of the movies with Vision in it before, Infinity War and Endgame you'd have to, so the audience would know, because those are the top movies worldwide, right? So Vision could possibly show up in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and even though the Guardians don't know him, the audience will already be aware of him. And the last time they saw him in a movie, he was dead, and maybe they could reestablish that in this show, that he was brought back somehow. We know how if you've seen WandaVision, but now the Guardians can learn in their own way. So I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 would be a really cool place to see Vision show up in. So you'll never know. I mean, anything is possible. And yeah, those are my theories on both Wanda and Vision, and where we could see them end up, and how they will play into certain events. So tell me your theories, guys. Where do you think Vision will show up, and what do you think Wanda will be doing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Tell me how you think the multiverse will start playing a part. We all thought it was going to start in WandaVision, but it looks like that was more character development for WandaVision and getting her in the right place for Doctor Strange, whatever's going to happen there. So tell me your thoughts. With that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.